Hmm. Hi, everybody. Yes, big thank you to my cheerleaders today. It's been a bit of a journey from 8 a.m. this morning. It's now 3:40 p.m. And this is our penultimate reading for today. I'll be doing a reading now for the moon card, and then the next reading will be for the sun. And I am a bit behind schedule, so I will just I'll be on for just under 30 minutes and then reset, and we'll do the final reading for today for the sun. So thank you all for your patience as well too. And I know I didn't log off of the last video, so you probably saw me shuffling cards and who knows what I was saying in the background. So I'll have to check that out later. The moon, the moon. I want to acknowledge today that the moon is in Aries. That to me feels significant for all of the readings, really, in that there is action we can take on these readings. 2023 hasn't begun, but it's like one of my Reiki master teachers always said. He says, the moment you register for the course is when the Reiki begins. And so once the reading is delivered, its energy is disseminated, it's ready for you to reflect upon and to absorb. And there's also a connection between all of the readings that will have a message for many of you. The Chariot is one of those cards that has the black and the white, the black dog, the white dog, the black sphinx, the white sphinx, whether they're cats or horses or whatever they are. There's this idea of aspects, dark and light side of self. And when we get to the moon card, the pillars generally are the same color. They're a gray color, a stone color. One of them here appears to be illuminated blue, and the other is black. But there's some sense of development, of processing that has happened between from the journey of, I want to go all the way back to the High Priestess, through each of the cards where we see these pillars, including death and justice. Other cards as well too. So this is it's been a long and winding road. I really encourage you, if this is not something that you do, thanks, Jen. Long and winding road. There are many a song that can be built into the energy of cards. And if you have a tarot journal, I would strongly suggest that you can have a place where you can write these down when a song comes to mind. The moon is associated with the mutable, I was going to say mutual, the mutable water energy of Pisces. Namaste, Amanda. And this is a challenging sign astrologically. Mutable water, this place can be very comfortable for people who get it. Others can be very uncomfortable around people who are comfortable in it. And this card takes on quite a different frequency from the Scorpio card, the death card, where we see that things have crawled to the surface, whether it's a scorpion or a crawfish or whatever is pictured in the card. Something from the darkness has come to the surface, and it's there, and it's usually being illuminated by the full moon, and it is moving it is transiting through habitats. I think this card is also a lesson that we can adapt. We can adapt our way of being in various habitats more than we realize we can. 17, 18. So this is 18. 18 is reduces to 9, the Hermit. And I strongly suggest you go back to the first reading for today, which was the Hermit, and contemplate that whole idea of journey. And this one definitely has a winding path. The Hermit is on a mountaintop. This to me looks more like a moonscape. And if you think about the energy of the Hermit at the mountaintop, the fact at least in Pamela Coleman Smith's artwork, the Hermit is in the distance. That mountain that appears to be in the Hermit card is there. So it's as if the Fool has journeyed, right, with the Hermit. And now the Fool is here, entering through these gates. These gates which a decision will have to be made. There's some sort of a impending transition 2 cards down the road when we get to Judgment. We need to decide whether we're going to pass through or we're going to circumvent this, because this is big work. So the Moon card takes us to the High Priestess energy, and there are secrets. There's things that have been hidden. There are half-truths. There are dark, deep, mysterious things that we may or may not know in entirety about our friends or family or ourselves. And when the Moon card arises, this is an invitation to speak it, to say it, to feel it, to own it. And as I study the tarot and I see these repeated symbols growing and growing and growing through the major arcana, by the time we get here, we need to be pretty comfortable with our receptive lunar selves. Otherwise, it's really tough. Now, comparing the next card to this card, which I will do a little bit when it arises, there's a brilliance to both of them. And never forget that they coexist. We wouldn't see the luminosity of the Moon if it were not for the Sun. And the Sun, that represents masculine, divine consciousness, wouldn't be manifest if it weren't for the Divine Mother. And the Divine Mother, in her manifestation as Chandra, as the Moon, as Luna, as she goes by many names, it's a part of a whole. And so you may also want to tune into the Sun reading as well too. Okay, let's go to the cards. So quite naturally, with this reading, I'm going to tune into the element of water first. I'm not quite sure where to put the candle, but we'll put it there for now. For the most part, the cards have known exactly where to split. This is the Daughter of Water. One of the things with this particular card is I want to honor the Mother of Water and how she has set up the landscape for this child to grow. This is not an easy landscape. There is a lot of erosion that can occur within this element. And because of her youthfulness, regardless of her age, she doesn't feel overwhelmed by it. She is curious about it. She perhaps is not yet aware of its power to erode, its power to carve. Candidacy Oracle for this one. Oh, okay, so we have a repeating card. So we have a fierce desert flower, and we will come back to that. So let's look at the balancing masculine energy. That's the bottom card that wants to come up, which is the Father of Fire. Okay. I tend to view this as fire of fire, and this as water of earth, or earth, water of earth, earth of water, sorry, earth of water, fire of fire. And I can imagine this child hiding away under the covers, under their blankets, fearful of the power and the strength, the easiness of the ability of this particular energy to erupt. And the way these cards are arranged, I know it's been fixed for all of these readings, but I can almost feel this looming, strong, forceful energy being quite intimidating to the Daughter of Cups. And in her journey, I'm going to go here next, with the moon, she will have to learn how to respond to fire, how to respond to anger, how to respond to excessive force of this kind. I like the fact that she is standing next to the cactus. That cactus as a... So we were talking about protection. Was that in the last video? It's almost as if this could be a reminder to her that she can be soft and vulnerable, sensitive, intuitive, and at the same time, you know what I'm thinking of? So Sylvia Browne, you all know who Sylvia Browne is, right? A psychic, died several years ago. I remember this one exercise in a workshop where she had us visualize mirrors all around us. And I'm sure everybody had a different vision of it, but the mirrors are facing out. So we are protected on the inside of the mirrors, and everything else is reflected and radiated out. And I think with a simple tool like that, the gentle and vulnerable and somewhat naive Daughter of Cups is able to thrive. And I started talking about and honoring the Mother of Cups here. And so I would also invite you to think about in what way you could honor the Mother of Water, who has given you the gift of intuition, the gift of trust and sensitivity and vulnerability, the ability to express your emotions and so forth. The card alongside. Oh my goodness. This is not what I was expecting. Okay. This is going to be very interesting to weave this all together. This is also a repeating card. This is the Protecting Treasure card. This is a card of protection. The spiky exterior, the thorny exterior. And what I'm feeling here is perhaps a growth through a misunderstanding that that somewhat scary, authoritarian, angry figure that you grew up with, that you meet at work every day, however they appear in your life, maybe they are a shadow side of yourself, that they are simply misunderstood. And that response is a protection on many levels. It protects their soft underbelly. It's there in protection of you. And that indeed there's nothing to fear. And perhaps this is one of the themes that is emerging from the water. Okay, very interesting. I was not expecting that. Your voice, your voice, your ability to respond, articulate, share, in sharing of the feelings, responding to overwhelming energy. Okay, so we have Three of Swords, Three of Feathers. Full moon, full moon. The moon energy, things always seem more challenging in the darkness. Even if there is a full moon, things seem more challenging. But sometimes it is in the luminosity of the full moon that we can gain clarity of how we can grow through a particular pattern. And I think I've hit something here with what this pattern is that is emerging for you this year. Misunderstanding being powered over, something like that. You may also be on the other side of this and coming to a place where you no longer want to be misunderstood. So these readings can be for different people, if that makes sense. Even though I may primarily speak from one perspective, you could be on the other side of that. And I know that is an important conversation in tarot. A lot of the time in cards where we see more human figures, unlike this one, we need to ask that question. Which side of the fence are we on? Hi, Donna. Welcome back. Also, remember that the Three of Feathers is the card of sorrow. It's the card of grief. It's the card of the release of this anguish and this release of pain. And this is part of the process of working with the moon. So it's very fitting that it's here. And I predicted it was going to be there in another card. Oh, we have Lotus. Okay. This is brilliant. In a few different ways, this is brilliant. Lotus, symbol of evolving transformation. We have a transformational card here. We have transformation happening despite challenges. An awareness of the need to grow, a bit of protection, being a very sensitive being, and yet having the courage to continue to navigate these challenging roads. Now, the lotus, once the sun goes down, the flower goes back underneath the water, I believe. I don't believe once the sun, I'm not sure. I have to think about this. Or maybe it only blooms for one day. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's the symbol of the lotus that is so important. And the lotus sitting here, I need to bring this connection in as well too. So the lotus, the jewel of the lotus, the jewel of the lotus. Okay, so this is Manipura chakra. Manipura chakra. Unstruck is anahat. So Manipura chakra, solar plexus chakra. And this transformation of solar plexus chakra is sitting across from what appears to be an extreme amount of fire. It's almost as if the figure in this card is calling out to the Daughter of Cups and saying, you know, sweet one, to keep your roots, to keep your feet in the water. If you keep your roots in the water, each day you will continue to grow and to bloom. Listen to the lessons that you have learned from the lotus. The jewel in the lotus is awakening. The journey with the moon, and this is, like I said earlier on, this is only half of the story, is one to empowerment of our divine feminine selves, taking us back to the priestess energy, perhaps more of the secrets being revealed. So the story that's happening here is one of to shed or not to shed, to protect or not to protect. We have this awareness of letting go here. We have an awareness of transformation. But I feel that there's an uncertainty of where we might be safe and where we might be vulnerable. Okay, I'm going to go to Earth energy. And how, so remember, chariot is Cancer, cardinal water. So cardinal water may calm. I feel that cardinal water may calm mutable water. Cardinal water would be Queen of Cups. Ah, that's interesting. That's interesting, because I started talking about her at the beginning and honoring her. She may very well be needed as nurturing support through this journey. And there you are. There are the two of you, mother and daughter, father and daughter, intertwined, acknowledging your infinite connection through, in perpetuity, through time. The reflection of each other that is so important, and how you inform and support and help each other to thrive. I like the fact there's a 2 here. There's 2 pillars. I feel like in these readings we've had a lot of court cards. Hi, Liz. Yes. Om Chandra Namaha. Om Chandra Namaha. She is the water within as well as the water without, and helps us to find our balance on this very watery planet as well too. All right, so your guiding shaman for this reading is the Shaman of Stars. The shamans are connected to the element of air. And I will read you their message. Wow. Okay. The Shaman of Stars. I am the Shaman of Stars. I bring the heavens down to earth, and I drink in the beauty of the sky, swallow this elixir, and give it back as a transformative energy to all. I sing the song of the heavens, and I show how starry wisdom can transform and re-energize you when you have walked the path for a long time and grown tired. That's funny that I started with "It's a long, long and winding road." Let's play the Beatles in the background. I bring a blessing to you and the restoration of strength when it is most needed. Now, granted, this sounds a little bit like a message for a star card. But again, this is a card of darkness. This is a card of nighttime. And also remember that nighttime, the color black in general, refers to femininity, the divine feminine energy. It is not something that is bad. It is not something that where we think dark equals dangerous, dark equals bad, dark equals dirty. Dark and black is feminine. Light is masculine when we're talking about divine cosmic energy. And so there is a deep and beautiful connection to your femininity that is revealed in your exploration of this energy. And as you allow this energy to emerge, you will be able to resolve your relationship with, I feel that it's a fear. It's a fear of being controlled over, a fear of loud, irrational people. But there's a comfort here. There's a display of protection that is all around you. And there's also a karmic lesson here of misunderstanding those in power. And so trust your process. Trust that these experiences arise for your growth and for your transformation. I mean, like, goodness, these are such beautiful cards of release and growth and letting go. So know that this is all in the highest for your greatest good. So use one, two, maybe make a list of 3 people that you find overwhelming, intimidating, and ask yourself, how could I see this from a different perspective? And were they actually protecting me? Did I learn something about protection from my relationship, my experience with them? And honor the fact that relationship is showing up here. So we do have a two present here. This is indeed also a reflection in a relationship card. It's a two-pillar card. Okay, so sit with those many questions. And as always, I invite you to come back and ask me questions and seek clarification. And I'm happy to go back and talk more about individual cards and expand on the combinations. I simply need to pull up the video, refresh my memory, and then we can chat down below. Okay, I really appreciate that. Thank you all for your support today. I have one more reading to do, and I will be back in a few minutes with that. Namaste.